Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending. On Monday, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu attended the second-term inauguration of Governor Hope Uzodinma in Imo State, where he assured Nigerians that he shares in the pains associated with the removal of fuel subsidy. The president also admonished those he says have been responsible for stealing Nigeria's common wealth in the past 40 years in the name of subsidy.
Among you, your families are pregnant people. The day of birth is the day of pain. You go through the labor pain. When you see or you hear the voice of the baby, your pains are gone and you are relieved. Nigeria is a kid. The last 40 years, some very few people were cornering our commonwealth, calling it subsidy. I call it wasteful and thievery. But right now, we are going through the pain. We are sharing that pain. But today, we are inaugurating a man's second term, a renewed hope. And that is why I am here. Yes, sir. Thank you. To guarantee you that hope, that things are looking up, things are getting better, and it will get greater and better for the common good of the Nigerian public.
I guess all we have is hope. We keep hope alive. I mean, I don't know, where the president is getting some of his rhetoric from. I mean, you guys took a story today. Inflation rate is up at 28.9%. Well, the president also assured Nigerians not to be bothered about the mass exodus of skilled workers from the country, assuring citizens that the federal government, in collaboration with sub-nationals, will train more persons to fill the professional gap.
Don't worry about what you're hearing about the Japa syndrome. We will train more people. And we can supply them safe. I'm glad we are showing a very united country and moving forward. The peace that you are enjoying here relatively will be better, and we will work hard with you to achieve that peace. Before now, every one of us is enveloped with fear to come to Imo State. Today, Imo is safe, happy, and ready for business.
All right, Ayo, a lot of assurances there. I mean, now we are hearing that Imo State is safer. And, he also kind of brought that rhetoric Hope Uzodinma brought on, I believe, during his campaign, where he talked about even training 4,000 youth in Imo State. And he's going to, find a way to give them jobs abroad. This was back in September. Let me just take that video. This is Hope Uzodinma during his campaign rally in September ahead of the governorship election in the state. He had promised to empower 4,000 youth in the state with employment abroad.
And by December this year, 4,000 Imo youths will be employed in Europe. And once the employment letter comes, the governor will pay for your 8 tickets.
Now, the president and Hope Uzodimma speaking the same language. The president has said, you know, don't worry about the Japa syndrome, that is the mass youth exodus. And now we don't know if those 4,000 people have been sent abroad by Governor Hope Uzodimma.
Well, according to the Commissioner of Information in Imo State, when we had him last week, he said we misinterpreted the intentions and the statement made by the governor. He said he meant that he wanted to train 4,000 Imo youths to be employable, such that when they go abroad, they would get jobs. Not that he was going to... So, you know, the thing, we now need, there'll be speeches and there'll be interpretation of it. But we'll watch what he said. He said he was going to, and there was jubilation that the governor was going to give 4,000 young people in Imo State jobs in Europe. By the way, the president also, by his statement, has also said Nigeria has now introduced a new export material, and that is human. By exporting our people, we train them for the outside world. We keep retraining them so that they can continue to jack back, and not recognizing or admitting the fact that because we are failing the young people in our nation, they have no choice but to leave their homes, to go abroad and work menial jobs in some sense just to make ends meet. And we are proud of that. We shouldn't be. It reminds me of what the former Minister of Labour and Employment, Mr. Chris Ngige, said with the doctors, mass exodus of doctors, that, oh, if they let them go, we have many doctors. And look at the crisis we have on our hands in the health sector, where we don't have enough doctors to meet the needs of patients in our hospitals. Rhetorics like this, even though it might seem like, oh, he's trying to make a bad situation look good, and as leader, he wants to position well, do more harm than good. Yes. We don't solve problems by burying our head in the sand and making statements that seem as if things are good, we are just all hallucinating. There's a word for that, it's gaslighting. Saying that what is not is, for instance, there are a number of things I'll mention in the speech he made. Yes. The first is that he said that the economy or things have gotten better. Has the president been briefed on the recent inflation figures? Has he been briefed on the current exchange rate of the naira to the dollar? Has he been briefed on food inflation and the fact that people cannot afford to eat? Has he been briefed on the insecurity situation that happened just in his backyard in Abuja and also across in Benue State, in other parts, in Jos, we're just talking about just the other day? Has he been briefed? Because it begs belief as to how he is judging that things are getting better. An acknowledgement and an admittance of the reality of things on ground is not an admittance of failure. Yeah. What you then do as leader is to end it on a note of hope. I mean, we're in the renewed hope agenda, tenure. A note of hope that I understand, and he said it at the beginning, I pay pangs of childbirth, etc., which has been part of his campaign from time even up until, or when he removed fuel subsidy, up until now. But an acknowledgement of a situation is a sign of empathy as well. Yes. And it shows